I never studied for long hours a day, but I changed that for CA. I never sat in one place to study, but I did that for CA. I never anticipated working for extended hours during articleship, but I did that to learn and become a good CA. I never realized the value of time till I became a CA. CA is not just words, it's a dream, our aim, our life. Hi, I am CA Preeti Aggarwal, proud to be a CA, and let me take you through my CA journey. Why I chose CA? Well, that's a tough question to answer because I don't have a specific answer for that. I was a commerce student, and during my time, commerce students generally went for either CA, CS, or MBA. I didn't want to wait for 3 years, appear for an entrance exam, and then, again study for another 2 years for MBA. I didn't go for CS because many were like, there is a lot of theory, you need to learn a lot, and I didn't want to do that. So the only option available was go for CA. And most of my friends were also doing CA, so that motivated me. And there was no social media actually, there was not much of awareness, and we didn't know about other professional courses that existed. So yeah, that's why I chose CA. There was no plan as such, and sometimes it happens that you have a doctor in your family, so you know what a doctor does. You are keen, I want to become a doctor, or you have a lawyer in the family, and you also want to become a lawyer. But there was no chartered accountant in my family, so there was nothing planned as such, that I want to do CA and that is why I'm doing it. It just happened that it was a good course, and many of my friends from my college, they were opting for CA. So that's how I ended up becoming a CA. As a student, I was sincere. I would attend college definitely, but I used to never miss any lecture of my coaching class. So I had joined classes for CA Foundation. It was PE1 at my time. So for Foundation and Inter, that is PE1, PE2, I had joined coaching classes. But CA Final, I studied on my own. I had not joined any class for that. I had someone to guide me and mentor me. So I thought I'll be able to manage CA Final on my own, and I did that. But I would be very regular in attending classes because I feel, if you miss any lecture, then that particular part is always lost. It's always option. You leave it as in option. You never end up studying that on your own. So I was very regular in attending classes, and I used to study on my own. I never believed in group studies. I don't know why. I always preferred studying on my own. I had a timetable. I would always prepare a timetable for myself. And I believe that every student should do that. You should know what to study and how much to study. That is very important in any professional exam. So I always prepared a timetable for myself. Even in my school days, I always had a timetable, and not a very lengthy timetable, just maybe, 3-4 days or a week's timetable. And I used to try to follow that. And sometimes, yes, if I was not able to do it, I would always keep 1 day buffer and try to complete everything on time. There were delays, I won't deny that. But because I had a timetable, I knew I had a target, I need to finish that. And as a student, I remember I used to always, in my school days, I used to always study in my room, and I used to walk and study. I never would sit in a place and, study. I used to always walk in the room or go to the balcony and stand there and study, keep learning the points. So that's how I would study as a student. When I was studying for CA that time, I think the structure was very simple. It was very easy for students. And I'm very lucky that I got to study in that period because we had our P1 after the 12th standard board exams. So while I was in FY BCom, I prepared for foundation. Then after clearing foundation, we had a gap of 1.5 year. So after 1.5 year, we appeared for PE2, that is CA Inter. And then again, after 1.5 years gap, we appeared for CA Final. So I didn't even realize, that the entire course was completed so easily. And we also had time to attend college, attend class. We had time for ourselves. I remember attending my CA Inter classes only for 3 hours. And today, when I see students, they are rushing to college. After that, they're going to classes, and then they don't have time to study. So now I think the course has become very tough for students because they start studying while they're in 12th standard, and with college they have to attend whole day coaching classes because you have only 9 months. But during my time, I just loved the structure because it was spread out over a period of 5 years, and we had a lot of time to enjoy college life, attend classes, spend time with friends, and very easily we completed the CA course. So I think I was very lucky that way. My schedule. When I was in foundation, I used to attend college in the morning. So FI become college in the morning. And after that, we had classes from 1 o'clock to 5 o'clock. So we used to not go home because the classes were near my college. So after attending my college, used to have lunch and all, and then attend classes till 5 or 5:30. After that, we were free, either to study or go out with friends. And that is how my schedule was during my CA foundation. Once the classes were over, we had time to study, we had time to prepare. And I remember my exam was in May, so we had the summer vacation to prepare for CA foundation, and I used to study in my library. I during my CA course, foundation, inter, as well as final, I have never studied at home. I have studied extensively in the library. For foundation and inter, I used to study in my college library itself, but for CA final, I had joined a public library. And my schedule would be, I used to go to the library in the morning, my college library in Mulund College of Commerce. I used to go there in the morning, like around 9, 10, and I would study there till 7 o'clock. And that was the schedule in CA Inter also. We had like college in the morning, but we had classes in the evening, like, from 6 to 9. So we had classes in the evening. So whole day we would either sit in the college and study. I had a very nice group of friends. Most of them were doing CA and few of them would study in the library. So we had a very strong group, and we all would study. They were regulars. We would regularly sit and study in the library. So we used to either, after college study in the library or attend computer class because we had 100 hours of compulsory computer training before appearing for CA inter exam. So we used to either go there or sit in the college, sometimes go home, and then attend classes in the evening from 6 to 9. So that was my schedule for CA inter till the classes were over, and then we had time for self-study. So during self-study, again, I never studied at home because I used to always feel sleepy, or, I used to not feel like studying only when I was at home. So I used to study in the library from morning, I think sometimes 8 or 9 till evening 7 o'clock, and my library would shut at 7:30. So we would be there till evening, till the librarian would say, "Bhai, abhi ghar chale jao." And we enjoyed. I had a lovely time with my friends, and I still remember, studying in the library. And we used to sometimes get bored sitting at one place. You can't just sit in one environment. So we used to sometimes study on. There was a water tank, I remember. We used to sit there and study, or we used to sit in the corridors. Or sometimes there was a classroom which was empty, so we used to go to that classroom and study. Sometimes in the evenings, I remember, we used to have our snacks, and like 4 to 6, 6:30. It was a pleasant time, and we used to study in the canteen. We had a huge canteen. So we used to study sometimes in the canteen, and there were these regular students who would sit in the library and study. So we all knew each other. It was like, an extended family for me. And my college was very supportive. I must appreciate my college. They were very supportive. We had study leave for CA inter, and they allowed us to study anywhere we wanted. I remember during public holidays, we would request our college that please keep at least one classroom or or the library open, for a few hours, and they never refused us. So we always had a group who would approach the concerned person and request them to keep the library or the classroom open, and they would always oblige. Sometimes they would also keep the canteen open for us, so that we can refill our water bottles and all that. So these are so many small things, but I always received immense support from my college, and that is how I studied for my foundation as well as inter. Then after that, I cleared my graduation, and I was like, I don't want to go back to college now for studying and all. So that is the time when I had joined Indian Library. It's in Thane, where I stay, and I used to go to that public library. I have very fond memories of that library also. And while, my YouTube lectures, I discuss my journey with students, and they're so curious to know, ma'am, how would you study in the library? So I would like to take you over there and show you how I prepared for my CA final in the Indian library. So do you want to see the library with me, and do you want to see where and how I would study? Okay, well, let's go to the Indian library now.
One, two, three, four. Clap your hands. One, two, three, four. Clap your hands. One, two, three, four. Clap your hands.
After I cleared my CA final, I applied for a job and I was selected in a broking company. I worked there for I think 9 months, I think 9 to 10 months, and after that I left because I realized very early that I was not cut out for a corporate job, like go in the morning and come late in the evening, आने का कोई time fixed नहीं है. I very soon realized that this is not for me. Then what should I do? You need a backup, or I had not thought about it, but I was teaching since my school days. Like when I was in ninth, I used to teach students who were in sixth or seventh, and I was doing that since a long time. Like my mom is a teacher, so I remember she used to tell me that, will you teach this concept? When I was in sixth, I was teaching students who were in fourth standard. When I was in eighth, I used to teach students in sixth, and when I was in ninth and tenth, I used to teach students. So this is how I developed a liking for teaching. I never thought I would, take it up as a profession, but it was just a natural fallback for me because that was what I had been doing since a long time, and I knew how to do that. And I've taught math, science, English, music. I used to play the keyboard, so I've taught that, and I should credit my mom for that. She always encouraged me to teach, because now when I look back, I see my concepts were strong because I would teach. So teaching is a very good way of learning. When you teach someone, that's how your concepts they are clear, and you understand the concepts better. And when you teach, you're like, हाँ ये ऐसा था क्या, वो टाइम पे when I was studying तभी मुझे नहीं समझा था. But now when you teach, you understand those things better. So that is how teaching was something which was natural for me, and I thought, let's give it a try. And I'm glad I did that, because over here, there are fixed timings. Timing is fixed. I know I will be attending classes for 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours in a day. I will go at 1 o'clock and I will have to end the batch at 3, because even if I want to continue, students will be like, ma'am, bas ho gaya, abhi aap jao. So I always wanted fixed timing for myself. I wanted to go at a fixed time, come at a fixed time. I wanted time for myself. But it's, what happened after I started teaching, it was like I work more now. And now that I have started theory masters learning, I'm even working more than I used to work 3 years back, because now this is my venture. So it's like sab kaam karna hi hai isme, and you put in a lot of hard work because you now want to achieve certain things in life. So I think I have ended up working more, but for myself. That is one thing which I'm very proud of. I'm very happy I'm doing that for myself. Whatever I'm doing, it's because I like doing it. I love teaching. And over these years, there are so many chartered accountants which I have helped create, that gives me immense pleasure when students come and tell me, ma'am, I am a CA or I'm a CS, you taught me this. I feel blessed. I really feel that I've given something back to my community. I'm able to contribute. And they say that we love law because of you. We love a certain subject because of you. We still remember how you studied, and that makes me realize that my efforts are, they are worthwhile. And uh, I had never thought of, entering into this field, but it is destiny. It is destiny. I never planned theory masters learning also. see, you must be feeling that, ma'am, you never planned anything, but things just went on happening with you. Maybe I always had that at the back of my mind, and the universe just ensured that it turns into a reality. So, teaching happened for many years. Like, I was teaching for around ten years. And after that, my colleagues would tell me, ma'am, why don't you go for online? And this is all before pandemic. This was like around 2018. And many of my colleagues would say, ma'am, why don't you try online, these satellite lectures and online lectures, pen drive lectures? That time it was very new. This is something, which everybody is doing. You should try it. I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I was very camera shy. And even now, when my friends and my colleagues, they see me on social media, they are like amazed. An extremely introvert and a shy person like you is posting videos and photographs, and you're sharing personal things on social media. They are actually quite stunned, because I was a very private person. I used to not talk to anyone in college or classes. I was a very quiet person. And now it's like you give me a camera and a mic, and it is very difficult to stop me. So, I was a very shy person. I didn't want to go in front of the camera. Maybe that is why I was hesitating. But one day I was talking to my colleague, and I told him that, this online thing is something which many people are talking about. Do you want to try it out? And he was like, yes, ma'am, we should do it. So that's how it just happened. We had an idea. We worked on it for a year and a half, and then we started our YouTube channel. That was everything was before pandemic. We never thought of going online, but all the groundwork had already started, because in pandemic, the market suddenly opened up. Students are now open to online lectures. They have now started finding teachers who teach online, and there is no boundary at all. You can learn from any person of your choice, from any professor that you wish to learn from. Like, I have students who are based in Assam, who are in Nepal, Pakistan. I get students from all across, not just India, from across the world, who are watching my videos. They are buying lectures from me. So now we don't have any local or national boundaries. Learning has crossed all that. It's beyond that now. But my work started before that. We were researching, we attended training of how to record lectures and all that. And we launched our YouTube channel, I remember, in 2019. I remember it was Ganesh Chaturthi. And on that auspicious day, we launched our channel, and we posted our first introduction video. So that was in 2019, and we started recording for CA. I started recording law for CA Foundation. So then after that, my colleague, he said that, ma'am, due to other professional commitments, I will not be able to continue. But I had made up my mind that I would want to continue. Okay, I wanted to continue, and I suddenly liked interacting with students. And students from so many places like Chennai and Kolkata, etc. They were all connecting with me, and these are students who I've never seen. I've never met them, but they are there. I'm guiding them, and it was thrilling, actually. So I remember telling him that, no, it's okay, I'll continue. And that's how I continued this journey. And that's where I am today. Am I happy doing what I'm doing? Of course, yes, I love my job. And वो आमिर खान का डायलॉग है ना, कि जब तुम्हें जो पसंद आता है, वो तुम अगर करते हो तो काम काम नहीं लगता है, वो खेल लगने लगता है. So this is actually things for me, and I edit all my videos on my own. All the books which I have authored, they are all written by me. I've not outsourced my presentations to anyone, because I did that for some time. I tried keeping staff for that. I have staff for other things, like dispatch of books, calling, etc. Back end everything. I have people who manage that. Marketing, I have an excellent marketing team. So I have people who help me out with that. But there are certain things which I have not delegated on purpose, because I want to maintain quality. So at Theory Masters Learning, I just want to give my best. I want to give quality to my students. I want them to come to Theory Masters Learning and feel that, ma'am, इससे अच्छा कुछ और मिला ही नहीं हमें. This is the best that we could get, and this is the best that I could give to my students. So in order to maintain quality, I write my own books, and I've not delegated to anyone. I prepare my own presentations. I do the editing on my own. All that part I have kept with myself. I've not delegated that to anybody just because I want to simplify things. I interact a lot with students. There are so many times which when they feel that ma'am, you are calling us, you are following up with us, you are attending the telemarketing calls, because I suddenly realize that students feel very comfortable when they talk directly to the professor. See, I'm providing online lectures. That doesn't mean that after sales my work is over. No, that is the time when my work actually starts. That is the time when the connect actually starts with my students. I don't want to just sell lectures and that's it, that's my work is over. See, if they're trusting me, if they are buying my lectures with by seeing just 3 or 4 demo lectures, if they're trusting me so much with quality, I need to give that quality to them. So I do a lot of counseling to the students. I try to connect as much as I can, of course. So I try to interact with them. I try to solve their doubts. I try to guide them, because there's just one aim at Theory Masters Learning: simplifying theory and providing the best and quality stuff to students. And that is my only aim in Theory Masters Learning. My vision for Theory Masters Learning is very clear. I want to provide quality education to students. My only aim is to simplify theory and to give the best to my students. No compromise on quality. Whenever I make notes or any video, or I provide lectures, or I take up any new project, I only do it with one aim: to provide the best quality to my students. No compromise on that. Whenever the students see my content, they should feel कि मैम इससे बेस्ट हमको और कुछ भी नहीं मिल सकता था. I have always put in my best on every video, on every book, on every project that I have worked. And I wish to do that only in Theory Masters Learning. So my only motto, aim, and my vision is to provide quality education, is to provide quality content to my students. That is what we have done since the beginning, and I wish to continue doing that. When students come and tell me that, ma'am, we still refer your books for LLB entrance exam or any other professional course, that is my biggest achievement. So if my students are happy, then I'm happy. My message to all the students would be to study hard, and study not for yourself, for your friends, or even for your teachers. Study only for your parents. They have given you more than you desire, more than you required at any point of time. And what are they asking in return? Just a degree? Yes, and that also not for them. It is for you only. They wish to see only 2 letters in front of your name, either a CA or a CS or a doctor. They are asking only a degree in return. And I think that's the least which we can do for them. I always tell my students that the happiness and the pride that your parents will feel on your result day is nothing that you can compare to in this world. When you tell your parents, or when you show your result to your parents and tell them that I have become a chartered accountant, or I have cleared this exam, the happiness that you can see on their face is priceless. You won't see that anywhere else. You won't find that happiness anywhere else. That is something which you should give your parents. So just one degree in return for whatever that they have done for you till now. Lastly, I would like to say that never forget, all difficult roads lead to a beautiful destination. So keep working hard, stay focused, and you will definitely succeed. All the best, dear students.